Hello everyone, welcome back to the Unity FPS controller series. In the previous episodes, we built a complete FPS shooting system, including weapon sway, weapon recoil, camera recoil, dynamic crosshair, bullet tracers, and realistic weapon spread. But there was still one important thing missing. Our player didn't actually have any hands in today's episode. We're going to add professional FPS hands to our controller. We'll also move our existing weapon sway and weapon recoil systems from the weapon itself to the player's hands, allowing every weapon to use proper hand animations. By the end of this tutorial, our weapon will sway with the hands, recoil will be applied to the hands, and even will add reload animation of the hands by Animator Override Controller. So without wasting any more time, let's get started. First of all, I've already imported the FPS Hands model into the project to save some time, and I have uploaded the hands model as well. You can find the link in description. And now let's simply drag the FPS Hands model into our player hierarchy. Since our weapon is already perfectly aligned for aiming, we don't want to position everything manually again. Instead, we'll copy the transform values from our current weapon and paste transform value in hands model transform. Now our FPS hands are placed exactly where our weapon is. And now let's make our weapon as child of our hands model. If you remember from our previous ads episode, we created an empty parent object to control our aiming system. Instead of making a completely new setup, we'll simply place both our weapon and FPS hands inside this existing parent. I'll rename it to a DS so it's easier to understand what this object is responsible for. And now let's make our hands and weapon as child of this object. This way, our ADS system will continue working without requiring any additional changes. Whenever the ADS object moves, both the weapon and the hands will move together. Now, there is one important improvement we need to make. Until now, our player didn't have any hands. Because of that, we applied both weapon recoil and weapon sway directly to the weapon model. That worked perfectly while the weapon was the only visible object, but now our player is actually holding the weapon. If we continue moving only the weapon, the hands will remain completely still. The weapon will move independently while the hands stay in place, making the animation look disconnected and unrealistic. Instead, we want the hands to drive the weapon's movement. Since the weapon is attached to the hands, moving the hands will automatically move the weapon as well. This creates much more natural first-person animation. Now let's connect everything with our hands inside our weapon controller. First of all, we need a reference to our FPS hands. Let's say serialized field, private, transform, weapon hands. This transform represents the root object of our FPS hands. From now on, whenever we want to apply sway, recoil, or other movement, we'll move this transform instead of the weapon itself. And now let's replace the weapon by our hands wherever we are updating sway or applying recoil, and also change the ADS aim transform as well. First of all, let's change weapon sway's original position from transform to weapon hands. Now the origin position will be our weapon hands, and after that, let's change recoil's original rotation from transform to weapon hands as well. And now for aiming, the hip position and rotation will be weapon.parent, because a DS is now parent of our weapon hands model. And now let's search for remaining references. Let's change the weapon aim transform from weapons parent to weapon hands parent, and similarly change weapon recoils affected object from transform to weapon hands, and do the same for weapon sway. And at this point, our FPS hands have completely taken over the first person movement. Go back to Unity, assign the hands transform reference, and test our current system. As you can see, when I rotate the camera, our weapon sway system is no longer being applied directly to the weapon. Instead, it's now being applied to the player's hands. Since the weapon is attached to the hands, it automatically follows every movement, giving us a much more natural first-person animation. You can see that our movement sway is also working perfectly. the hands move naturally with the player's movement. Let's aim our weapon. As you can see, aiming down sights is still working perfectly without any additional changes. Since both our weapon and FPS hands are now children of the same ADS object, they move together whenever we aim. And finally, let's start shooting. As soon as I fire the weapon, the recoil is now applied to the hands instead of directly to the weapon. Both the hands and the weapon move backward together, creating a much more realistic kickback effect. Now that our hands are correctly controlling sway, recoil, and ADS, the next thing we need to do is prevent them from clipping into walls and other environment objects. For that, let's assign our FPS hands to the same weapon layer that we created earlier for our weapon. After that, let's add an animator component to our FPS hands. The animator component will control all hand animations, such as idle or reloading. Next, we need an animator controller that defines the common animation flow for our FPS hands. So let's create an animator controller and rename it to Hands Base Controller. This will be our shared base controller. It will contain the states parameters and transitions that every weapon can reuse. The base controller will decide when animation should play, while the Animator Override Controller will decide which animation clip should play for the currently equipped weapon. And now let's create the hand animation states. For this, first let's open Animator panel. For our current weapon setup, we only need two basic states. The first state will represent the normal state of our hands, and the second state will play the reload animation. And now let's create an empty state and name this as empty. And after that, I'll drag the reload animation of hands from my model into the animator panel and rename this to reload. And now let's make a transition from empty to reload and make another transition from reload back to empty. Now select the transition that is from empty to reload and uncheck has exit time. It's because the reload animation should begin immediately when the player presses the reload button. Now we need a parameter that allows our weapon controller to tell the animator when the player starts reloading. For this, let's create a trigger and rename this to reload. And now let's add the condition to switch animation, as we only have one reload parameter. So Unity set that by default. And now let's select the other transition and keep the same setting, so this transition waits until the reload animation is almost complete before returning to the default state. I am going to rename empty to idle, as I have a proper looping idle animation. And I'll pass the idle animation clip in this state. And now our hands animator is ready. At this stage, we could also create separate walking and sprinting animation states, but our current FPS controller already handles those movements procedurally using weapon sway and movement sway. Because of that, we don't need to duplicate the same movement through animator animations right now. And now, assign the hands-based controller to the animator component of our hands. Now we're moving to the most important part of this setup. Right now, we only have the rifle. But in the next episode, we'll add a shotgun and pistol. And the shotgun and pistol will need complete different hand animations. It may have a different idle pose or reload animation. We could create a completely separate animator controller for every weapon, but that would duplicate all our states parameters and transitions. If we later changed a transition or parameter, we would have to update every controller separately. So instead, we'll use an Animator Override Controller. An Animator Override Controller reuses the entire state machine from our base controller. It keeps the same states, parameters, transitions, and script calls, but allows each weapon to replace the animation clips. So let's create Animator Override Controller. Right-click on Animator Controller folder. Go to Create Animation. And select Animator Override Controller. And I'll rename it to AK Hands Controller. And now assign the hands-based controller to the controller of Override Controller. And quickly assign the matching AK animations for idle and reload. And that completes our Override Controller. Now, when we add the shotgun in the next episode, we won't need to rebuild this entire animator state machine. We'll simply create another animator Override Controller and assign the animation clips. Now our Animator Override Controller is ready. The final step is to connect this animation system with our weapon controller. For that, let's create a new C# script and name it Weapon Hands Animations. Open the script, and as usual, we'll remove mono behavior, and we'll add serializable attribute, and we'll remove start and update. First, we need a reference to the animator component attached to our FPS hands. So let's add serialize field private animator, hands animator. This animator is responsible for playing all hand animations such as reload and idle. Next, we need a reference to the Animator Override Controller used by the current weapon. So let's add serialize field private Animator Override Controller, hands override controller. This override controller contains the animation clips for the current weapon. Now we need the name of the reload trigger that we created inside our hands-based controller. And instead of passing the string reload every time, we'll convert it into an integer hash. Let's say private static read only int reload hash equals animator.string to hash. String will be reload. Animator.string to hash converts the parameter name into an integer value. Using a hash is slightly more efficient than repeatedly using strings, and it also keeps our animation calls cleaner. The name written here must exactly match the reload trigger inside the animator controller. And now let's create an initialization method to assign the current weapon's override controller to the hands animator when the weapon starts. So let's create public void initialize. Before assigning anything, we need to make sure both hands animator and hands override controller references are valid. Let's check if hands animator equals null or hands override controller equals null, then return. If either the animator or override controller is missing, we exit the method immediately. This prevents a null reference exception and makes the system safer. Now let's assign the weapon's override controller to the hands animator. Let's say hands animator dot runtime animator controller equals hands override controller. This replaces the animator's current runtime controller with our AK override controller. The hands will still use the states, parameters, and transitions from the hands-based controller, but the animation clips will now come from the AK override. Now let's create a public method that will play the reload animation. Let's create public void play reload animation. We'll call this method from our weapon controller whenever a valid reload begins. First, let's make sure the hands animator reference exists. Let's check if hands animator equals null, then return. If the animator is missing, we simply exit the method and avoid an error. And finally, let's activate the reload trigger. Let's say hands animator dot set trigger, and ID will be reload hash. And that complete our hands animation system. Let's go back to our weapon controller script. And we need a reference to our new weapon hands animation class. So let's create header attributes for weapon hands animation. And add serializable field attribute so we could see it in the inspector. And then let's add private weapon hands animations, weapon underscore hands underscore animations. Inside the weapon controller start method, let's initialize weapon hands animation. Let's say weapon hands animation dot initialize. When the weapon starts, this method assigns its override controller to the hands animator. Now go to the method where the weapon begins reloading. When a valid reload starts, we need to trigger the matching hands animation. Let's say weapon hands animations dot play reload animation. Now save the scripts and return to Unity. And now select our weapon from hierarchy and open the weapon hands animation section. Assign hands animator and hands override controller. Let's quickly add override in the name of Override Controller, as it's confusing. And now hit play button to test the animation. Now let's wait for our reload animation to play. You can see that the hands play the reload animation, and our existing sway, recoil, and add systems still work because they affect the hands root. And that completes our FPS Hands and Animator Override Controller system. See you in the next episode.